morning. I just thought I would show you what I've been making since I made the ink. So underneath this little pile here, I've made a little booklet. So to make them nice and flat, when I've made my homemade booklets, I tend to wait them out overnight. So this is a lovely old iron, which is what I use to weight things down. So it's literally just piled with a block on top, bit of wood underneath, bit of MDF. But anyway, so this is a little concertina book that I have made to just as a memory, as reference for the future, for the process that I went through at the weekend. Hello, I'm Helen. This channel is all about the process of making, the joy of making, the journey of creating. Here you'll find DIY crafts, upcycled art projects, and stress-free creative ideas. I hope you'll join me. Let's create together. So red onion skin ink, July 2024. I tend to like drawing on scraps of paper, so you'll find inside that there are scraps of paper. So this is old exercise book paper, so it's slightly yellowed. I've tried to use different drawing implements, but unfortunately the nibs I've got from dip pens are way too thin and scratchy, so I'm going to get some more dip pen nibs and have a go with those, but I haven't done that yet. So anyway, the thing I make my books out of as well is I do like lining paper. So this is just wallpaper, lining paper. It's a nice thick texture, nice and thick. It holds paint well. I like the creamy colour of it. So I've just made a little concertina book out of lining paper. As you can see, I haven't used the back pages at all. I've glued the pages together with a strip of brown paper, another of my favourite brown papers, and I did just put some dye on either side of. So this was the ink that I've used, that I made. So I did spray some water on and just slosh around some ink on the paper before I made the pages. So inside I've got, you know, the paint marks underneath, or the ink marks a little bit darker on this side. So I've just done some doodling of onions. I've added on just some notes about what I've used. So I used brushes. So there's a brush. I used a brush to do that one there. This is just it's an old encyclopedia book that I have in my stash that I use for paper. So that's just on book paper. This is brown paper. These two here are drawn on tracing paper. I quite like drawing on tracing paper. This is envelope paper. I love envelope paper. You don't get so many envelopes these days because we have everything all paperless, but I do love envelope paper. This is just a scrap of sketchbook paper. There's some grid paper and just a piece of white copy paper, I think that is, for there. So I've used on these spreads, I've used brushes, I've used a pen. So that was this pen, which is an old cartridge pen, which tends to leak, and I don't like using cartridges now because of the plastic. So I keep that empty and I use that as a dip pen because it's a nicer nib, but it didn't really work so well. I'm really wanting some fatter nibs. I do prefer a chunkier line. The bamboo pen, I've got two bamboo pens. I used the smaller one, so these are just commercial, bought from an art store, bamboo pens, so you use them as a dip pen. And a cotton bud I used, I don't know if I've thrown it away now. I used a cotton bud. So as you can see, I've already used one end for blue ink. I just used a cotton bud to draw with, so, you know, just dip it in and draw. That actually worked quite well. I liked that. This is not a representation of the style of drawing that I like. Dip pens, I struggle with dip pens because I tend to like drawing with continual lines, or you know, blind contour drawings where the pen doesn't go off the paper, and you're looking at the object, you're not looking at paper. That's a style of drawing that I like doing, and that's what I have got in a lot of my. I do a daily sketch of my teapot and mug at the moment. So, and that's the style of drawing I like. I like the quirkiness of the lines, and I like the randomness of them. Dip pens don't give you that continuity. You're forever having to stop and start a new line, and yeah, it loses that quirk for me. But anyway, I've got to find a method of working, because I am loving doing the inks. Interesting to note as well that this one and this one, I don't know whether you can see, bring it up a little bit closer. So this one has got slight tinges of green in it, as does this one. And I think this is where it's just got a little bit lighter. Either I've smudged it with some water or something, but anyway, that's got some green tinges in it, which was quite curious. So yeah, so that's those pages, and then I have put together my recipe and all the test dips that I used. So this was me writing with the old cartridge pen. It's not really, I'm not liking my writing in that. I do prefer to write in a fatter ink, a fatter nib. But anyway, so that's just, you know, what I did, and the results that I got. So I think it makes kind of a nice little memento, a little bit of a reference, and I just love making little handmade books, and I've got lots of these Concertina sketchbooks. Because they're small, it's, you know, it's one and done. You haven't got that, you know, okay, now do I want to spoil it by doing something else in it? So yeah, that's my red onion skin ink Concertina book. If you're still with me, thank you very much, and I hope that by following my process of experimenting with inks, it's encouraged you and inspired you to have a go at making your own inks. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and like and subscribe. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.